Hey guys, I'm Melhorn. Are you getting ready to re-spool a fishing reel? Well, stay tuned. I got a couple of tips for you, a couple of things to do and not to do. Well, whether you fish a lot like me or you're a casual weekend angler, sooner or later it comes time you got to put some more line on your fishing reel. I got one here that is getting pretty low. I do a lot of drifting, a lot of trolling. I put a lot of line out, and anytime my reel gets to this point where I've got this much line left on it, and I put out a couple 100 feet of line trolling behind the boat, I don't have much left on the spool. So this means it's time to re-spool. First tip, don't let it get this low. This is on down there. A couple of problems that can happen. One, well, you can run out of line, or you can get to the backing and to the knot a lot quicker on your spool. The second thing is it affects your casting distance. Having that larger volume of line on the reel will help you cast further. Another mistake I see people making is pulling all of this line off. Don't do that. Leave a backing on. There's no point in taking all of this line off the back of this spool, line that has never been used before, when you can simply tie a new piece of line onto here and re-spool what you need. All right, when you look at this spool, underneath all this line, there's going to be a knot that is going to tie this line to the backing. We're going to pull it off. I do suggest you turn your clicker on when you do this. I'm doing it for ease of operation here. You'll see that we will get down to that backing knot here in a minute, and that is where I'm going to cut my line and attach a new piece of line to it. As you can see, I've still got enough line on here to fish with, but one more break off and this reel would have been down to the backing. As you start to see that little lump coming around right there, that is where my knot is. A little bit more coming over to it. See that little lump right there? Boom, there it is. I feel it. I actually have a pretty good bit on there, but right there is my knot, guys. That right there is where I'm going to cut the line and reattach it with another knot. I'll show you how to tie that knot in a second, and then start spooling line on. Now, the knot that I use is a double uni knot. It's pretty simple to tie. You're going to take these two lines and you're going to put them parallel to each other, okay? But you're going to take one side, you're basically going to make a loop around that other piece. This is a double uni knot. Then you're going to wrap this around here 4, 5, 6 times. And pull it tight. Don't have to get it tight yet. Then you're going to come up here on the other side and do the exact same thing. Make that loop and then come and wrap around both of the lines 4, 5, 6 times. What happens is that knot will pull tight. You'll get that one pretty tight, and then you're going to pull these together just like that. Come in here and cut off the tag end on these things, and you're ready to spool line onto this reel. As you can see, that's a pretty good bit of line there, but all you need is one good break off while you're out there fishing, and you would have been down to what is left on the back of this reel, and that's not a lot. All right, guys, I got my reel, I got it tied up to my spool, I got my spool mounted up here on the wall. I'm going to start cranking some line onto here. What I do is I get this thing on there pretty full. I get it to about right there. Take a look at that. You can still see a little bit of the edge of the spool on there. What you don't want happening is it getting too full and getting up and biting in right here. Depending on what kind of line spooling system you use, whether it's somebody holding the spool on a pencil, or if you got some kind of bracket or line spooler that are made out there, make sure your line goes on tight. Don't overfill your spool. Make sure you got a little bit of room, about a 1/16 of an inch at the top of the spool. You'll be set to go.